as we grow as a church, we want our faith to grow and our control to decrease, because that's what it means to truly surrender to God, of saying, no, my life is no longer mine. It belongs to you. So I'm giving it up for you. But here's the thing. Okay. I'm going to teach you guys this cycle. This is where control can come from. It comes from ungodly beliefs. Here it is. Okay. There's going to be 4 things in this cycle. It's the belief expectation cycle. First, there's a hurtful experience. We have a hurtful experience in our life. You have one. Could have been from your childhood, could have been from a spouse, could have been from a boss, could have been from a pastor, could have been whatever. You have a hurtful experience that leads to an ungodly belief. That ungodly belief now leads to expectations of the future, what's going to happen. Like you have an understanding, like, oh, because this happened then, I don't believe this will ever change or happen for the good. And so my expectation is blank. And that arises from these beliefs that affect our behaviors. And our behaviors lead back to those experiences. So it causes us, like when you think about it, it causes us to have a split mind of saying, I believe that God can do it, but I also believe that I need to make something happen. I need to have some control because of my experiences, because of my expectations, because of my behavior, right? That's leading to the behavior. I need to control this. And often, it comes from a hurtful experience that leads to a controlling spirit. A hurtful experience leads to a controlling spirit. Now, I just want to share my story with you guys, okay? I'm going to break this down for you. And some of you might get it, some of you might not, but my hurtful experience was not our sending pastor, my old pastor. Whenever a staff member left the church, they weren't necessarily blessed. They weren't thanked. They weren't sent out. If they were going to go start a church or be part of another ministry, they weren't given financial giftings. And I saw this over and over and over. Obviously, staff members that were there were my friends. So as it affected them, it affected me. And I went through a hurtful experience, even though it wasn't happening to me. See, that's what I want you to understand. Maybe something has caused trauma in your life from a hurtful experience that didn't even happen to you. It happened to somebody in your life. But you saw that and you're like, okay, now I see what happens when that's done. But maybe something was done to you. Then it leads to ungodly beliefs. Godly belief, my God is the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, right? Like he is more than capable to provide. I have an ungodly belief that I saw what happened to these people, God isn't providing. That leads then to my expectations that when I leave this church, I won't be blessed. I won't be given any kind of financial blessing to go plant a church. Then that leads to a behavior of lack of expenses, right? I'm not getting, so I have to control something and make it happen. And this is what I want to teach you guys too. We can function in such a time of faith, but also control simultaneously, like we can. So when Chrissy and I moved out here to California, we had that crazy faith, y'all. Like I don't know if you know this, but U-Haul does this thing now where you can like get a box and you just pack it and they come and pick it up like on a semi and they drive it for you. And so because we left all of our stuff back at our house in Indiana because it's on Airbnb, so it's fully furnished, we only had really our clothes. I mean, just a small amount of things that we were taking. My mom's apartment was probably the fullest in that little U-Haul box. I kept telling her, I was like, girl, your whole apartment's in here. Like we don't have anything else that we're going to fit. Like we're going to have to get another box. But we got a box, packed that sucker up. I mean, to the ceiling. That thing was packed. And we sent it out. And I told U-Haul, I said, hey, is it cool if we send it out like in the region we know we're going to be in? Because we don't have a home yet. Like, y'all, that's crazy faith, right? Like we didn't have a home, but I was just like, it's going to be in Northern Orange County. Can we just send it to a U-Haul place and I'll pick it up? And they're like, yeah, we'll do that. I'm like, awesome, because we don't have a house yet, right? So crazy faith. Now God provides, we get a home, we get out here, all the stuff. But then I would go through nights of just waking up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and just being anxious about finances. Crazy faith to get out here. Crazy control. What do I need to do for us to be able to provide, to actually live here and to plant a church? Do you see what I'm saying? And it comes from a belief expectation cycle. And those are ungodly beliefs.